Hello everyone, it's QuestQuenchers here today, and we are back in Helldivers 2. So, yesterday was Liberation Day, and it went rather well. We managed to complete the major order and get the cape. And it's a really nice cape. I actually really like it. It looks cool. I like the pattern on it and stuff. Although I do prefer other capes, but still, this is nice. It looks very nice. But unfortunately, a lot of people are quite disappointed, as they were expecting a little bit more, because that's kind of how Liberty Days have been. There's always been like a new armor or a weapon kind of thing, or at least something. So I was surprised that it's just kept very down to just a cape. I was very surprised, in fact, that it was just a cape. I thought there would be some more interesting stuff later on as an award, an award kind of thing and stuff. So I'm very disappointed, to be honest. And I do think it's probably because they were like, hey, we need to work on patches and stuff like that and do stuff. They must have brought the content team over to help with optimizing meshes and stuff like that. Like LODs, you can generate different distances, but they require different types of meshes. So I reckon that's probably something. So they had to like deform, change all the like automaton meshes, illuminate meshes, bug meshes, and everything. And it has to be everything, so the LODs work a little bit better and it's a little bit more optimized. So I reckon that's why we didn't have got much. I do think there's like the war bonds. There are like war bonds in the pipeline, because I do remember him a while ago saying, yeah, we've got quite a few war bonds in the pipeline, not including this war bond, which I think was the Halo one. So I think there's plenty like war bonds to come, but I think they're just staggering it because they're not fully finished, they're not fully like optimized and all that stuff. And because they're going back and optimizing things and stuff like that, I do think it requires a lot of people that know how to make meshes and stuff like that and optimize textures. You know, it's like a whole field of itself. I've been looking into it for like my game and what to like make sure I do do's and don'ts of like making things and stuff. So it's like very like there's a lot to it. So I understand like them reducing content and not having things, but at the same time it's like, oh, but you did say you had things in the pipeline, so what's going on? So yeah, it's an interesting time. I'm a bit disappointed that we didn't get much else, but I guess, and yeah. Anyway, on to some other things. I've been testing the patch out a little bit more with the SMGs. I do think they have made the drag a little bit overtoned. I think they've done a little bit too much on the drag. I think it needs to be peeled back to probably 0.8 or 0.9. I think that will be a nice spot for it. I just think that probably like 25 meters, 20 to 25 meters should be like, that's when the bullet drop, or the bullet reduction kind of thing kicks in. And if you want to, I mean 25 meters is quite far, so I understand it being a little bit less to give the assault rifles effective range. But I feel like the marksman rifles, especially the Deadeye, needs a buff in damage. I do think it's a little bit, it's just not really there anymore. It used to be really cool. Now I'm like, I don't really like this. So I think boosting damage to all the marksman rifles and stuff, or like have no drag, which I think, it is low on the marksman rifles. So I do think, they're getting there. They're almost there. It just needs a little bit more tweaking on certain things, and I think it'll be great. But like the SMGs, I think 0.9 is probably a good thing. So it's like a little bit further away before the damage reduction occurs. I mean, 0.6 I felt was like probably really, it was probably like too good for like an SMG, but having, doubling it is not the right choice. I think just adding a few more points to it, like make it 0.8, that's 2 extra 0.678. So it's like, okay, SMGs, their classification now is close to mid-range weapons. Assault rifles are mid to long-range weapons. marksman rifles are like long range rifles. They don't really have any like kind of drop off kind of thing, maybe. Your pistols and sidearms, I think, are like good. I think because the Senator is a unique kind of weapon, being like a big old heavy pen weapon and stuff like that, I do think its drag needs to be reduced a little bit. I do think but having sidearms being the close kind of quarters weapon and stuff, I do think is a good idea. Yeah, and I'm liking the anti-materia rifle. It's pretty good now. I do like it. I have noticed a few issues with scopes on the Deadeye and a few, I think it's the Deadeye and the Amendment being a little buggy. So that's been a little bit annoying. But I do think it's coming together, and the different, classifying weapons for certain situations is a good idea. I don't think it should be looked down on. I do think SMGs are for like close quarter to mid-range effective. And I do think having that, I think they do great, I feel, in the city biomes. Because I dropped into like an overtop one with an SMG. I was like, not really getting the damage I want. And then I dropped into a city thing where it's very close and they're all around. And I felt like I was doing really well with an SMG. So I do think that, probably just reducing the drag a little bit to 0.9, I think would be good. I think it would, you can shoot a little bit further without the damage drop off. So I do think, that's good. As for the enemies, I feel like, yeah, the reason why it feels a little bit worse at distance is because of the extra durability on their armor and the higher armor kind of specs on them. So on the enemies, especially like the heavier enemies like Devastators and stuff like that. So I do think I get why people don't like SMGs anymore, because they don't do that pushing power kind of thing now. Like, it takes them down at a distance, it's all close up, and you don't really want a big meaty bot right at you, if you know what I mean. So it's, I get it. But I do like reclassifying the weapons kind of thing. Like I said, SMGs should be close to mid-range. And shotguns are like close, and the damage drop-off should be the damage drop-off at mid-range, it shouldn't be that great because it's a shotgun. It's not really, I mean, for like gamey kind of vibes, like, oh, I'm going into like a cave system now. I'm going to have my shotgun because things are going to jump on me that I don't know. And like, I do like the idea of things being taken out in like one shot with shotguns and stuff like that. I think that's not one shot in things, but like if they're like point blank, they should get decimated. If they're like 5 meters to 10 meters out, then they shouldn't really. And like 10 meters in the game, because I can mark them and it says 10M and stuff like that. So it's like 10 meters is quite far. So, my shotgun shouldn't be really hurting them. It just feels like this is too far away to get the proper kind of thing, because I can see the pallets go, but they look slow. I don't know. It might be just, I don't know, me as a person. But it's like, oh, should it really? It look like they slowed down quite a bit and it's like pushing him back. So I don't know. I think that's the slugger anyway. I'm leveling up that weapon. But yeah, I am loving the pacifier. I thought it needed more damage, but then going on to the Illuminate, and it can like really stun the flyboys, the elevated, what do you call them, overseers, and it like stuns them for quite a bit longer. And I'm like, I can get you if I just aim for your head. There you go, I'm done. Nice. So it's actually really cool, and I'm really enjoying the pacifier. So it's nice seeing these changes, and it's getting better. With the pacifier and stuff like that. I think the adjudicator needs to be buffed significantly. It is really behind. It is not doing well. It needs way more damage. Because like I was shooting, I was like, why are these voteless not going down in a few shots? Like taking 3 to take them down. What the hell? And I just wasn't happy with that. And, other weapons seem to have like a faster fire rate, so it takes them out quickly. The damage multiplies really quickly, but the adjudicator just takes its time. It is terrible for crowd control. And yeah, I was fairly disappointed. I was like, these like voteless should be taken down in 2, maybe 1 shots very quickly, I feel. But no, it's I was very disappointed with it. I just thought this isn't what I want from this weapon. Because it's got a small mag and you're reloading constantly and it's annoying. The Halo rifle, people really like it. I personally don't like it because the ammo capacity is too low for me in order to feel like it's... like people are really enjoying the damage, but at the same time I'm like, I don't really enjoy that. It's not really working for me, unfortunately. But yeah, I see where people are getting annoyed with the SMGs. I do think the drag needs to be reduced to 0.9 or something like that, or 0.8 on the SMGs. Explosives, great. I love the dynamite kind of things. I think, you know, it's really good. The explosives is really good right now. And I feel like dynamite should blow up structures. It's dynamite. So it's going well. I am enjoying it. I think it's good. I do think the major points are the new things to the drawable enemies, so it feels like I'm not doing that much more damage, but with the weapons I'm using, I feel like I'm doing more damage. It's an interesting kind of feeling. It feels good, but the SMGs don't feel good at a distance that you think they will be acceptable to kill things, but they don't. So I'm like, okay, that needs more, you know, the drag needs to be a little bit less in order to get that gratifying feeling from an SMG. Now, the assault rifles I feel like are in a good place, especially the pacifier now. I'm enjoying that. Yeah, there's nerfs to the coyote unintentionally. I think that's... I don't know why. They should have just been bit the bullet and gone. Instead of like making all the edits to all the enemies without touching the... I don't know why they're just getting... Yeah, the ticks too now. Kind of thing. And we're going to just do that. So it's just like, why not just bite the bullet instead of like hiding around it, going around it? I just think it's silly. Just, you know, have some gumption and, you know, about you, and be confident in what you do in order to benefit and balance the game. Be confident in yourself. You can do it. So it's just like, yeah, but like playing around and like, you know, beating around the bush and nerfing everything, like, you know, fire things. I know it's just an extra bullet for the nerf kind of thing that it takes to set things on fire, and it doesn't kill him in one cycle of fire kind of thing. But it's like, I use it on automatic and it still kills things very quickly, so I'm just like, sorry, it's just how I do. I carry the supply backpack with me, so it's like, you know, not really starving for ammo. So it's like, it's okay. Yeah. But like, my only gripes with it is the SMGs. I think they needed... The drag needs to be 0.9 or 8. And then I think leave them alone after that. I think the damage is good enough. I think, you know, I really like it. I think just increase the distance that you can kill things, you know. So yeah, that's more or less from me. I didn't know I was going to get into this today. But yeah, I've, you know, just been testing things out and playing, and I'm like, I enjoy this. I enjoy it a lot. With, you know, these different changes and stuff, but the SMGs is where it's like a little bit annoying. But I like the idea of changing the, hey, you can use these close quarter weapons. The SMGs are close to mid range, shotguns are close, assault rifles are like mid to long range, snipers are for long range, and stuff like that. I feel like that is a great idea. Keep it up. Try to do that, because that's what they're trying to do with the SMG nerf. But it's just like they've kind of been a little bit too overtone in there. But I'm enjoying it. I think it's really good. You know, it's gonna get better as time goes on. Fingers crossed they've learned the lesson, kind of thing. But and a lot of people are like, oh, they won't. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but if this happens again, Sony's gonna end up giving it to someone else because it's their IP, and if they're actively losing money on it, then they're going to give it to someone else who can do it for the third game. Or, you know, be like, look, you're sacked. We're going to hand it and train all this staff. You need to train people, make sure it all works, and all that stuff. And you get some you get some money from it. But, you know, we can't trust you to keep doing it because you're losing players and all that stuff. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they fix it come tomorrow. I don't think they will. I think they're more or less like happy with what they're doing. They're just going to be like, look, we gave you a patch, now we're just going to do certain things, you know, get content back, Hopefully get a new war bond off. There has been leaks for it and stuff, and it looks pretty cool. I'm not going to discuss it further than that. But yeah, there's hopefully some good things to come. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that's all from me. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.